Hi besties, welcome to Caddy's Alloy. Thank you for subscribing, and if you are new here, you're in the right place to be. Please click on the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and comment below. So in today's class, I'll be taking you through how to cut a free flay top with a balloon sleeve. I'll be putting elastic at the tip of the sleeve. So this particular sleeve, I'm going to have the shoulder together with the sleeve. Let's move on to cut our fabric. So before we start cutting, I'll be using my Ankara fabric. You can see this is almost 2 yards because I already cut like the tips of the fabric. So if you want to cut your own, you have to make use of 2 yards fabric. You can use any type of fabrics. You can use satin, crochet. You can use any type of fabric, but I'll be making use of Ankara fabric. The only thing I'll be using is the tape, the chalk, and scissors and my fabric. So let's move on to cut our fabric. So the first thing you're going to do when you want to cut is to fold your fabric into two. As you can see, this is already in two folds. So it's already 2 folds, and after folding in two, then you fold again to form a triangle flay. Remember I said this is going to be a flay top. So after folding into two, then you fold into a triangle flay. This is how you fold. You take your fabric from the tip, like the tip of the fabric, then you join it to make a triangle. You can see. So this is a triangle. This is how to fold a triangle flay. You can see the shape. This is the shape of triangle. So this is how I'm going to fold mine. Okay. So the reason why I'm reducing my flay, not because of it not to have this bulgy look. So I just want it to be a little bit free, not too big. So to cut out the flay top, we'll be making use of few measurements. The length of the top, which is 27, the bust is 33, the chest line measurement, which is 12, and we won't be making use of the waist or the hip measurement because this is a flay top, so we only need the bust area. Since from the bust to the waist to the length of the top is going to be free, so we don't need to add our waist measurement. So the only thing we'll be focusing on is the chest measurement, the bust measurement, and the length of the top. So let's start by cutting it out. Let's start by drafting out the top. So the first thing you're going to do after folding, I already said you're going to fold your fabric into 4. This is 1, 2, and this is another 2, which is 4. So then you're going to form a triangle. So for this top, I'll be adding the shoulder to the sleeve. So for the shoulder, I'm going to reduce 3 inches from the top. Since I said I'll be adding shoulder to the sleeve, so that is I'm going to reduce about 3. Depends on how you want your top to start from, but 3 inches is okay for me. I'll be taking out 3 inches from the armhole measurement, that is 3, or chest line measurement. The armhole measurement is, or the chest line measurement, that is from the shoulder to the chest line. The length is 7 or 7.5. Let's use 7.5. The length from the shoulder to the chest line is 7.5. So if I deduct 3 inches from 7.5, that will be 4.5. So I'm going to note that down, 4.5. And the next thing I'm going to do is to, since I'm not starting from the shoulder, so I don't need my shoulder to shoulder measurements, I'll be working with my chest line measurement. So my chest line measurement is 12. 12 is the measurement from one armhole, that is the armpit. So I know this is not a circumference measurement, this is just only the front measurement. This is when you place your tape at the end of your armpit that runs along your chest. So that is how to measure your chest measurement. You place your tape after the armhole, then run it to another armhole. You can do that for the front, so do that for the back. So this chest line measurement is not the roundness of the chest measurement, it's only for the front measurement. So this is 12. Then 12 divided by 2, that will be 6. So since my fabric is in fold, I will be using 6. Since the chest line measurement is only for the front or the back, But to measure the roundness of my chest line is going to be 12 times 2. That will be 24. So this value, this 12, is only for the front chest line. So I'm going to measure the 6. Remember, we already took out 3 from our armhole measurement. I'll place my tape and run it around. I'm going to add ½ inch extra. That will be for the seam allowance or sewing allowance. You can see this is 6.5. I'm going to note it down. Then I'm going to run a line on it. This is my chest line. And I took 6.5, including the seam allowance. The chest line measurement is 6. 6 times 2, that's 12. Plus ½ inch allowance, sewing allowance, that's 6.5. So from there, I'm going to place my tape. Remember, I said I took 3 inches from the armhole measurement or the chest line. So this is a 3. I'm going to place the 3 on the line. From there, I'm going to take my armhole measurement. My armhole measurement is 7.5. So from here, I will note down the 7.5. So you can see where I placed my tape. I didn't start from the tip of the tape. I started from the 3, since I already took 3 inches out for the shoulder. So this is, I've already marked my 7.5. From the 7.5, the next thing I'm going to do is to, you can see, I'm going to slant it to reach here. So this particular line, which is my armhole line, is going to be where I measured my bust measurement. Remember, this is the chest line. Like this is the starting point where my top is going to be. So I'm going to measure my bust measurement on the armhole measurement. So this is how I'm going to place my tape. Okay, so my bust measurement is 33. 33 divided by 4, that will be 8.5. So I'm going to note down 8.5. This is 8.5. So plus seam allowance, I'm going to take out 10. You can see 8.5 plus seam allowance, I'll be taking down 10. Then remember, I said there's no need for the waistline, but to place my tape, which is the 3, I'm going to place it on the chest line, then measure out the half length. The half length is 14, so I'm going to note that down also. Then from there, so my waist measurement is 26 by 4, that's 6.5. So the reason why I'm doing that is for you not to be bulgy on the waistline, so I want to reduce it a bit, so I want to be sure so that I won't cut out the necessary measurement. So 6.5, this is 10, so I'm going to measure up 10 here also. Same measurement I took on the bust, I'm going to take it on the waist line. Then from there, I'm going to connect to form a straight line. The reason why I reduced the waistline is to give it a shape. So I took 10 inches here, I took 10 inches on the waist side. So after then, I'm going to take out my top measurement. Remember, I already deducted 3 from the length, so I'm going to start from that 3. I'll place my tape on the chest line and measure 27. So this is 27. I'll also do the same thing round. I'll take the 27 round, 20 here, take out the 27. Me taking the round measurement of the top, I'm going to mark 27 all through. So after joining the line, remember this side is going to be the side of the flay. So the side of the flay, we are going to remove 2 inches from the length so that the side won't be longer than the length of the top after attaching the sleeve. So I'll come to the side and deduct 1 or 1.5 inches or probably 2 inches. I'll deduct 2 inches. So I'm going to retake the measurements and ensure it is 27. So I'm going to deduct 2 inches from the side. So after deducting the 2 inches, I'm going to blend it to the length. So this is my line. So I'm going to blend it and cut it out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut it out. Start my cutting from the chest line. So this is the, you can see, this is how it came out. So after then, the next thing I'm going to do is to just cut the sleeve. The 3 inches I took from the shoulder, I'm going to take it here. Before then, let me measure the length of the sleeve. I'll be using this part. I'll cut one first, then use the remaining fabric to cut the other. So I'm going to take out the length of the sleeve. So my length of the sleeve is, I'll be adding elastic, I'll be adding extra inches to my length of the sleeve. My length of the sleeve is 22 because it's a balloon sleeve, so I'm going to add 4 inches extra to my measurement. So this is, I'm going to take 26. Let me mark it down. So this is 26. Then the 3 inches I took out from the shoulder, I'm going to take it here. This is 3 inches. I'm going to mark down 3 inches. Then plus ½ inch sewing allowance, I'm going to take 3.5. So I'll note down the 3.5. Then after that, I'll take my top and place it like this. I want to shape out the armhole measurement. So after that, I'll shape it out. So you can see this is where it stops. Then from there, I'm going to measure my top arm measurement. So my top arm measurement is 11. So 11 divided by 2, that will be 5.5 plus sewing allowance. I'm going to add 7. So this is going to be 7 plus the sewing allowance. So from that 7, I'm going to connect it down. I'm going to connect and form a slant line. Now, since I said this is a balloon sleeve, so the down part of the sleeve is going to be thicker. So this is how it's going to be. Next thing for me to do is to cut it out. I'm going to trim out the excess. Then I'm going to place this to the other fabric and cut it out. So I'm done with the second sleeve. This is sleeve 1 and this is sleeve 2. So it's into 2. So move on to cut the facing for the top. So and I'll shape it. So this is the facing and this is the top. See? So I'm going to move on to join the fabric. So this is the facing for the top. This is the facing for the sleeve top. So I'll move ahead to join my fabric and show you. Welcome back, besties. This is the finished look. See how nice it is. It came out really nice. So this is the balloon sleeve. I added elastic at the tip. I run a stitch at the bottom of the dress. And this is what the second sleeve, balloon sleeve, and this is the off shoulder. You can see it didn't start from the chest, and I took out 3 inches from the shoulder. So you can see this is our off shoulder flared top. So off shoulder flared top. This is the back also. So I had the slit to the back. So this is the back slit. Added the button to it. So you can see how free it is. Kind of fitted at the bust area and free to the bottom of the top. So as you can see, this is our off-shoulder flared top. So I'll be dropping a detailed video on how to draft a balloon. So this is a balloon sleeve, bishop sleeve. This particular top, you can wear it with a jean trouser. You can wear it on a palazzo trouser. So I'm going to sew a palazzo to rock it with. So thank you for watching. I hope you find this class interesting. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and comment below. And don't forget to on the notification bell for more updates. See you in my next class. Bye.